when the war in my country started and I came to United States as a refugee, I lost my business. My father passed away at the same time. So in one blink of eye, my life turned upside down. So I came here and you will not believe I had zero anxiety and stress. I didn't have even a minute of sadness or stress because I'm so trained to be in a positive mind attitude. Clients who have a lot of problems with their health it's very, very wealthy people. You will be surprised. So, because they have money, they can afford to go into the fancy restaurants. They order wine, champagne, they eat lobsters, they eat this. And more simple people, they are more healthy. People want very fast, quick result. Instead of implementing healthy habits, instead of management your stress and changing your lifestyle. So they don't want like healthy, long-lasting plan.
Do you think that the more we are connected with this spiritual realm, the happier and the healthier we become? Hi, and welcome to another episode of We Create Superhumans from Healthy Longevity Clinic. My name is Dr. Roberto Mondolfi. I'm your host, and today we have a very special guest that I met, a little bit long ago. Her name is Karina Safarova. I'm gonna allow her to tell their story, and she is with us today to talk a little bit about longevity, health, many things. So, welcome, and Karina, thank you for joining us today.
And thank you so much for inviting me and having me today. You know that I'm always happy and excited to spread my knowledge, to share my knowledge and expertise and all new protocols because longevity is my passion. Many years since I started studying, it's in London, neurophysiology, and I'm passionate about new wellness protocols, alternative medicine, and preventive medicine because I'm always for holistic approach that you can prevent so many diseases. And it's all about your healthy lifestyle, physical and mental health.
That is true, and you touch upon several points that I want to talk about. Is we can be healthy, and I was having a conversation this morning with one of my team members. One of the things that we talked about is that we don't understand, I think, the word being sick or sickness, right? We understand that when we are sick and we go and prevent it. So, sickness is preventable most of the time unless there's an accident. And the other is kind of a lifestyle and mental health, which are two things that I really want to talk about. A lot of the people that I follow and I read and kind of I talk to, they talk about longevity, but from the physiology, from nutrition, from all this stuff. But there's very few of us that are talking about lifestyles and mental health, which is something I want to talk to you about today. So tell me a little bit about you, your background, how you ended up here, meaning in the longevity universe.
Well, it's not about the place, it's about your passion. And in London, I started studying neurophysiology at Imperial College at Medicine. I'm from family of doctors, so health and medicine, it was my passion since my childhood. In Kiev, in Ukraine, I have my own wellness center. It's stem cells and IV drips. Unfortunately, now my business is not working due to the war. Hopefully, one day we will get there. But I'm planning to do the same things here. And I'm so blessed. I've been in the United States since already 3 years. And I'm so excited about all the things what's happening here. Like I speak a lot at conferences, at wellness summits, longevity, and we had an amazing congress about health and medicine just 1 month ago. I'm very happy to speak all the time, to do wellness workshops, and I do constant research, and it's never ending because they create so many new protocols, all these devices. But I'm a little bit old fashioned because it's very simple: body, mind, and soul. You don't need to People are so obsessed now. It's too much of everything. Like they do this Ozempic to lose weight. They do this so many different therapies, NAD, glutathione, too much. They're obsessed. Like this Don't Die Summit with this Brian Johnson. To me, it's ridiculous. I respect him. He's a nice guy, but you have to age beautifully, and you cannot reverse biological clock. And it's very difficult process, and you don't need it. You just, people do this non-stop stem cells and exosomes. It's too much. It's too much when like they do this hormonal replacement therapy. When it's so simple, just optimizing your nutrition, physical activity is important, management of stress, sleep is important, like very simple things. And of course, mental health, because stress is really, it can destroy your life. You cannot be healthy, and IV drips and all stem cells, it's never going to help you when you have a lot of stress and anxiety in your life. So you have to start from there. But also what I noticed, that in United States, people are they're desperate, and they are very obsessed with this, a lot of pills, like very fix. They try to fix uh, things very quickly, like taking Xanax, taking Adderall, for attention, for energy, which is absolutely, it's bad. You don't have to take nothing from CVS what needed prescription unless you're really sick. I'm against it, so I'm for holistic approach. I'm for alternative medicine and very, very holistic medicine. So they take a lot of chemicals, too many supplements. You have to start from your blood work. I think each longevity specialist, like when you in this industry, you cannot advise client or your patient, even peptides, even IV drip, you cannot make any advice and give something like to prescribe something unless you don't see the blood work. You need to know your thyroid level. You need to know your ferritin level, because when we lose hair, uh, it might be problems with thyroid, or it can be, so people take a lot of peptides, hormones, when it should be only used after evaluating
Mhm.
your medical history.
And you touch upon a great point, and thank you for that. There's so much there that I want to talk about.
Yes,
Let's circle back to this, the blood work, which is something that
yes.
we I like to do it here at the clinic, kind of educate our patients that in order for us to help them, we need to understand what's going on, and we need to create either a baseline, an understanding, and the blood work is the best way to do it with the extensive testing. So that way you know what to attack. Not only that, it's what dosage you're gonna be taking. Like you were saying, okay, let's say that somebody wants to have a more holistic approach. What supplements is your body looking for? What is it that that you need? Unless you take a test, you don't know what's going on. And that's something that we
Right, right.
encourage here a lot, is that let's forget about hormone replacement therapy, or like you said, stem cells. You want to be fully holistic and fully natural. What do you know about your nutrition? What do you know about what works for you in your nutrition? What is it that your blood levels are telling about your amino acid or macronutrients or all this stuff? Unless you know, you can't prescribe responsibly what is it that you're going to be
Yep.
doing. And that's a part that we, again, like you were saying, you need that to create a baseline. So thank you for bringing that up. And the other one is this extremist, or this seeking for so many treatments at the same time
Yeah.
that you don't know what works. Maybe you're taking so many things and you don't know which one works for you. Or
Exactly, and it might be very harmful for your health. So, in my clinic in Ukraine, I would never ever advise my patient, my client, to do stem cells unless I see full blood work and MRI. Because even if you have little inflammation in your body, like a lump or something, it can provoke. You never know what.
it's
So you have to be.
like you said, it's irresponsible. And I'm glad that you're touching upon this. In our last episode, we touch up a little bit upon this, but we never dig into. So if you don't mind, let's spend a little bit more time here because, like you said, you need first of all, with the medical team that you're working with, they have to
Mhm.
be responsible. That's one thing. Getting your blood levels known and kind of create a baseline, and then you know what's working, because if not, you will never know. The other point that you touch upon, let's say that you want to go to the extreme of stem cells, or all the things that you can do, gene therapy. And this is something that we found kind of some resistance with some patients because they want something quick. If you
Yes.
want to do, because we do it not here in the United States, but outside, we can do stem cells and some gene therapy. But what we recommend and our protocol is you need to prepare your body to receive it, because if not, this we should leave, right? The other day we were advising this couple that they wanted to do TPE, that therapeutic plasma exchange. Fantastic. But they wanted to do it. They were going to do stem cells somewhere else, and they wanted to do it after the stem cells. I said, no, 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 you can't do that before. So there's so much misinformation, and people is not either well informed or not seeking the right information to do that, kind of preparing your body. So thank you for touching upon that. And also the topic that you mentioned, that this obsession for doing so many things at the same time. What do you know what's working? How do you know that? So um thank you for that.
Yes, it's only another stress for your body because I'm for cellular health,
Hmm.
and you have to restore your body and reboot in a very natural way.
Hmm.
But first, you have to start absolutely only with blood work. You have to know your hormones, you have to know, so, and evaluating medical history, of course. Because doing too much, and there is a lot of things we don't know exactly how are they good or bad, like semaglutide. We don't know like what it can. People want very fast, quick result instead of implementing healthy habits, instead of management your stress and changing your lifestyle. So they don't want like healthy, long-lasting plan. They want all and now, which is very, very bad. So, like nutrition and gut health is important. Like you have to enhance your mitochondrial function in a very natural way, rather than relying on supplements, on IV drips, NAD, glutathione. Some people even do ketamine, which is, I don't understand at all. It's like too much. So just adopting healthy lifestyle, healthy choices. And me, myself, I love doing IV drip once per month just to keep my body uh, full of vitamins. I do it like prevent diseases,
Hmm.
prevent like in some infections, or instead of taking antibiotics or whatever. So I love it, and I think everybody should, just in a very moderate way. Everybody can do IV drip. Everybody, I like some supplements, especially liposomal supplements. I do take them, but not too many, and I rely on my blood work because you have to find out the root causes. First of all, like, for example, oh my God, I'm losing my hair. So you don't need to go for extreme solutions. Like they buy an
It could
expensive.
be as simple. It could be as simple as stressed. That you're stressed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, stress management, it is very important because when you have like for a long time stress, it's aging you. It's aging you, it's destroying your life, and you have to do a lot of practices like simple yoga, meditation. You have to have your emergency protocol. What makes you calm down?
Tell me that's a very interesting concept. Tell me a little bit about that, because I think that's something that we should expose a little bit more. Kind of an emergency protocol. Like, you have a headache, you take an emergency pill for the headache.
No.
Be a little bit more about that emergency protocol that you're talking. I don't know if you have first.
Yes, emergency protocol is not about taking pill. It's stress reduction tools.
Okay.
It can be deep breathing, a meditation, other forms of relaxation, and each person should choose for himself. Because me personally, I like swimming. I like going to the ocean. It can be sometimes like it. It can be sex, like a good quality sex, because it's releasing dopamines and endorphins or oxytocin is the best, happiest hormone, like breastfeeding hormone, like a bonding hormone, like hugging someone, like even playing with a dog. Some things which make your hormones like endorphin and dopamine higher. And it's simple things. You don't need to go to pharmacy and with prescription.
Karina, thank you very much for talking about that because one confusion that I found in my years practicing and advising people is that when you talk about meditation, people is like, oh my God, no, because they think they need to kind of sit down and stay quiet for 20 minutes looking at the wall or breathing and they don't. And what I try to explain is that as you said, there's so many other forms of relaxation to become aware that it's like you said, as simple as playing with your dog, qualities and good sex, going to the ocean, swimming. And what I like about your intervention is what works for you. And I can remember when I started this journey, many decades ago, that the trouble that I was having is I was trying to follow other practitioners or other masters or mentor, or whatever you want to call them, in regards of becoming aware and meditation and things like that. And I was struggling because that was not for me. Then I found, like you, for me was running or cycling or swimming or, depending, walking, there are so many things. And then I found somebody to tell me, no, no, what you're doing is perfect. You don't need to replicate anybody else. It's like you say, what works for you? What is it that helps you? And it could be as simple as just a hug or
I'm very happy to share with you because, 3 years ago, I had the worst moment in my life when the war in my country started and I came to United States as a refugee. I lost my business. My father passed away at the same time. So in one blink of eye, my life turned upside down. So I came here and you will not believe I had zero anxiety and stress. I didn't have even a second, a minute of sadness or stress because I'm so trained to be in a positive mind attitude. I always know how I can reach this state of peace and being grounded. I don't need to sit on the ocean and meditate. It's just thinking. It's just thinking that automatically it's more likely mental health. It's just thinking that what is genuinely good for my body, what I can do now in this situation. I never felt myself stressed, miserable. I was always very mindful and I tried to make my life as meaningful as I can. Even, Viktor Frankl, the famous, he wrote a book about existential analyze, the life full of meaning. So he wrote a book during the World War. He was in a horrible, like, and it's all about asking yourself right questions and knowing what is genuinely good for you and for your body. So people blame, like, I don't have a budget to eat healthy, or or I don't have a budget to buy expensive membership. What a insanely limiting belief. You have so many things for free. You don't need even to hire a coach because in if you open Netflix or YouTube, there are plenty of documentary movies. It's like it's only all about thinking and attitude and making healthy choices. Because when you know what is genuinely good for your body, you don't need so many prescriptions and you don't need to fix many problems with your health. Because of stress, people get sugar diabetes, they get cancer, a lot of people suffer from addictions. So when you train your mind, when you know how to manage stress, when you find your own, because for example, what works for me, it might not work for everyone because I did biking. I stressed my body in a good way. I did a lot of workout, listening music, exercising nonstop, yoga. I combined many things. And some people, for example, they cannot bike or running. They should do Pilates, like or yoga or just stretching. So there is always a solution. There is always a solution, and your health also. You are what you eat. The food is your medicine. So a lot of super greens are good, and it's like nurturing your body and your mind.
And I'm glad that you're talking about this again. And I'm so happy that we're having this conversation
Me
because you
too.
mentioned two, I think two things that I want to circle back to. One is limiting beliefs, right?
Yeah.
And the other one is, this limiting belief idea that being healthy, it's expensive, right?
Exactly. Yes, it's insane the limited.
Yeah, and the other thing is all the resources that we have at hand. And I think, and I want your opinion on this, that I think in today's society, we're so used to being fed something instead of being curious. Like you said,
Mhm.
the resources are there. Just be curious and go to YouTube and just Google healthy nutrition and you start doing or healthy exercise or whatever. Like you said, you don't need to be um, wealthy to be healthy. You can go out and walk if you're capable of walking just for a run or for a walk or to the ocean or doing some whatever it is. It's just being curious, like you said, what works for you and take away this limiting belief. And you mentioned about nutrition. That's so important because like you said, at least what we see here today is this epidemic of obesity and overweight and all this because there's no time to cook. I mean, of course, it's easier to go to the quick burger joint and have something instead of how much is cooking, how much cost you to cook a healthy meal, to
But
buy a leg, pick a
right.
it and do a nice dressing, and you don't have to be uber healthy to eat. It's just being curious about what's good for you and avoid quick fixes. So I'm glad that you're talking
Quick
about.
fix. Yeah, and we live in era of quick fix. But what I want to tell you from my experience, the most like I have clients and patients. So the most sick clients who have a lot of problems with their health is it's very wealthy people. You will be surprised. So because they have money, they can afford to go into the fancy restaurants. They order wine, champagne, they eat lobsters, they eat this. And more simple people, they are more healthy because it's so simple. Just drinking very quality clean water, having no stress, no alcohol in your life. And you don't need superficial meals of food like super greens, and even fasting is good. Fasting is also good. Just a lot of water is good because I love fasting. I do intermediate fasting. Sometimes I do 24/7 fasting. Fasting is also good at detoxification of your body. You have to detox your body and your mind as well.
I want to circle back to taking care of your body and detoxing, but before we move there, I want to, because we're touching upon just a little bit, I want to dig deep on this,
Mhm.
the role of mental health in your longevity journey. And because I know that you're also passionate about and you're a motivational speaker, I
Yes.
I think that the question I want to ask you, what or how important do you think somebody being motivated with a purpose, with kind of a clear goal of their life is, and the impact that they might have in their longevity or your health or their health? What do you think about that?
My clients and patients ask me all the time, Karina, what is more important, physical health or mental health? And it's very interesting question because you cannot be physically healthy even with fantastic blood work and all blood tests which are good. You cannot be and you cannot feel healthy if your mental health is not good, if you have stress or you don't know how to manage stress, if you don't have enough sleep, you will never feel healthy. So it's like biohacking your body and mind and choosing the best solutions for yourself. Safety. I put safety first, then the results and too many treatments. So moderation is the key, and immune boost in a natural way, a lot of physical activity, um, regular checkups and blood works, and I would say stressing body in a very safely way. A lot of workout as much as you can, because when we get older our muscles we start losing our muscles. So I would advise taking, if you don't take enough protein after 40 or 50, some supplements like L-carnitine is good for bone and muscle health. It's very important because as we get older we start losing our muscles. It's scientifically proved, and we older adults require more protein to maintain muscle mass and overall health. So we need to have proper nutrition plan. That's super important.
And
Super important.
I'll get to that. I want to go back to this balance between, like you were saying, mental health and physical health, right? And one of the things that we like to kind of guide, or I like to guide people, is
Mhm.
like you were saying, you can have the best physical health and nutrition and all that stuff and supplementation. But if you're stressed, if you're not happy, if you're miserable in your work, if you're not having the right mindset, like you were saying, the right,
Yes.
self attitude,
Not enough excitement in your life.
exactly, not that your life is boring, that's
Yeah.
going to affect you. So your physical health is not going to be optimal because your mental health is not. And at the same time, you might be, working with the best therapist and, doing all these mental things, and your body you're not taking care, that's going to affect you. So like you were saying, it has to be a balance where you're taking care of your mental health and then you're taking care of your physical health at the same time. So that way you can really be optimal
Yeah.
in your performance.
You have to. I use Christmas. I use Christmas method. Create your own happiness, your own excitement. Create things you look forward to.
Okay.
It's like, it's again about hormones, about this dopamine and endorphin. When we're waiting, when we're excited to have some meeting, or we have something to be excited about.
And
And you
that's I'm happy. We have so much to talk about on so little time. I hope that you can come with us again in the next time. It like you said, if we have something that we look forward to, the dopamine effect, it's amazing because you get motivated. Not that you're gonna start looking for things every single day, but it gets motivated and then you move forward and you create momentum and things like that. So that's so important and it creates also creativity. So I'm glad that you're touching up on
Yes,
that.
it's important.
Of course it
It's important. You cannot take a lot of pills and supplements unless you don't have something to be excited, and you have to create it. You have to find, even I teach my students, even your dream and your goal, it should be exciting, it should be beautiful. It should be beautiful. You have to have goosebumps and butterflies.
and I think and I want your thoughts of this. It makes life kind of worth living because
It,
you want to live longer and you live healthy. What does it mean if you're not happy, like you said, motivated, energized, or motivated to
or having a purpose.
how much do you think that affects somebody's body when they are just drifting?
It affects not just body, it affects your life, and it affects people you love and who you are surrounded, because you have not just to live, you have to thrive. You have to radiate this so beautiful frequencies, like this beautiful energy. And you have to be like to live life full of fulfillment and excitement, and you cannot live this life like, in a very even perfect flow. For me, happiness is a progress. So I try to be every day more knowledgeable, more healthy, and you will not believe today I feel and I look much better than I was 10 years ago, because I had a massive shift in my mind, and I know what is genuinely good for me. And after I did so too much education and too much research, I speak at the conference and summits. So I know how it all works. Like, it's genuinely good for me, for my body, for my future. It's automatically questioning yourself. Questioning yourself, like, do I need this? Is it good for my body? Is it good? Even about people, person.
Being curious,
Yes, because you know what? A human brain is wired for curiosity and novelty.
Yes. I'm going to do an agenda for our next episode because we're touching upon so many things. And what one thing that you touch upon, knowledge. Do you believe or do you encourage your students or your followers to on a daily basis to get knowledge, meaning reading or
Yes,
real knowledge?
yes, yes. Yes, you have to train your brains like you train your body, like because brain is the same like your muscle. Every day you need to learn something new. You have to be such a nice person to be around, even just, it's good for your success because me personally, I can speak every topic. I try to teach my students, my clients, my patients to be knowledgeable, to watch as much documentary as you can. And it's all free and we have so many access,
Mm.
because when you are knowledgeable, you feel different.
Mm. And I want to because one of the I don't know if you find this in your practice, but one of sometimes the things that I find is when I'm talking about this topic, kind of knowledge or being curious, people say, "Well, but I don't know what to watch. I'm bored if I watch this or if I watch that." So I said, have you ever been curious about what is it that you like? And so this is like, going back to the meditation and things like that. He said, what is that you like? So whatever it is, it could be, it could be cooking, it could be, knitting, it could be cycling, it could be so many things. And we have so much resource that,
Yes, you just have to try unless you find your perfect.
do you think that kind of block comes from the limiting belief that knowledge has to be something profound, philosophy or something so,
Yeah,
big?
people tend to make things complicated when all is very simple. I highly recommend everyone to watch movie on Netflix, Blue Zone.
Yes.
It's a fantastic movie, fantastic. The art of simplicity. So you,
It's yeah, and like you said, being alive, and I like, I have that mantra: revive, be alive, and live fully. And I think the documentary, one of the things that shows, especially these people, the centenaries, is that this, I think, hunger for living, this way of living, that they're so happy in the communities doing simple things as gardening or just thing. That I think that's what we were talking before, the purpose, right? Um,
because you have to nourish your body and you have to nourish your soul.
do you believe, and I don't know, in the circles that we move, the longevity ecosystem, do you think that we talk enough about the role of the spirit in everything that we're
Yes, oh my God, my favorite topic. Spiritual health is very important. Being spiritual and your relationships with God, and also feeling a lot of gratitude in your life.
Hmm.
So, being spiritual person is not only about meditations, and it's about filling your heart with gratitude, awareness, and have a lot of appreciation in your life. That's what I call spiritual. Being spiritual person is to have a lot of light and positive thinking, and to learn some new things, and genuinely, nurturing your soul and surrounding yourself with good people, like um, heartfelt energy. For me, I really, really pay too much attention who I surround myself with.
Okay.
I'm very fantastic in building relationships. I know how to build a healthy, long-lasting relationships. But I build a relationship only with people who we we contribute and we make each other better. We bring a lot of value to each other. We elevate each other. We leverage. And I like being around high-minded and like-minded people, mission-driven people. You only want to become better in this environment. It's very powerful. And also being authentic is important.
Yeah, and you again, we're touching about so many topics, and we started talking about spirituality, right? Uh, one thing that comes to my head, I want your thoughts about this is: do you believe that we are prepared to talk about spirituality, about what it's really about spirituality, instead of this limiting belief that it's either a religious thing or a kumbaya or home. Instead of spirituality so individual, it's that you really have to find out what works for you. So do you think we people don't talk about it because first they are afraid to be judged, and or they're just not?
Not ready and not enough knowledge. Because even for me, building, for me, prayer is very important. And it's not only prayer in church or you have to know your own prayer, like positive self talk, like see all these blessings around you.
Yeah, and again, going back to education and knowledge, and I want your thoughts on this. I think people is confused about what prayer is. It's not about religion or whatever religion you are. Prayer is just communication with that inner self or whatever you want. So, like you said, people don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think that the more we are connected with this spiritual realm, the happier and the healthier we become?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And the best prayer ever is very simple. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like I woke
But
up.
so we can if we go to a biohacking conference, we can say that the best biohacking, cheapest and quickest is just pray.
Prayer, yes. I start my day with prayer. I pray a lot and I have a lot of awareness and a lot of gratitude because grateful people, they're always happy people and everybody wants to be around grateful, happy people. Nobody wants to be around toxic people or negative. Like nobody needs drama. Nobody needs problems.
Well,
Every
some people love drama, so I see that a lot. Let me ask you something to kind of wrap it up because we don't have that much time.
people are still
At the beginning, you mentioned about the frequency and you're not surrounding yourself with toxic people. I think it's a two-part question. When you are grateful, my guess and my knowledge and the research says that we start vibrating, into a higher plane. Okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
So if that's true, and what we do with nutrition, with water, with meditation, breathing exercise, it's basically getting us into a much higher frequency, right?
Right.
So would you say or would you agree that one of the best biohacking tools is not only praying, but also being grateful so that way we are in this positive
Simple.
vibration?
Yes.
There you go.
Simple.
And I'm asking because the other day, I think it was Saturday, I was in this event and Ben Greenfield was speaking. And one of the questions that they asked him is, what are the simple things for somebody? And he started talking about, walking, grounding, simple things. And then as I was thinking, and I'm glad that you brought that up, it's like there might be some simple things like, hello, be happy, smile, be grateful, have some connection with your inner self. And yes, the other things, of course, work. How about if we start simplifying what biohacking it's all about? Instead of all this extreme, we go to the simple things that you can do, like you were saying. It's free. It's free. It's just learning, be curious, and all about that. So I'm glad that you touch upon that, and I'm going to make it my point for our next session to talk about all this.
Well, I love setting new trends and biohacking. People think biohacking is something. It's very simple.
Mm,
Even though I do this plant-based sober dinners, tea ceremonies, like I do a lot of energy practice because working with your energy is very important. To reach this peaceful state of mind because peace is delicious.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to be like, I'm always peaceful, I'm always grounded, and I have very, very soft feminine energy. But it took me years.
Like you said, it's a practice. It's not a quick
It's
fix.
a practice. Yes, it's a practice, practice, practice. And now it's automatically. It's like, Sadhguru, or he's always smiling. And I'm all the time 24/7 in meditation. For me, my life is meditation.
It's like you say, it's becoming aware, it's being present.
Aware. Yes, I love spreading message of awareness,
Yes.
message of mindfulness, like mindful thinking, mindful eating.
Mm.
Mindful eating, like you are what you eat. The food is your medicine. What am I eating? Because
Yeah. You remind me of so many things. I have this now he's a friend. He used to be a mentor. And I remember when we started working, it was like, 2 decades ago. And he asked me one day, Huberto, what are you eating? I say, let's say, tuna, whatever, steak, or whatever it is, let's say tuna. What are you eating? Tuna with rice, whatever. How does it taste? It's like, huh? What are you asking?
mindful, yes, mindful.
Exactly. And he said, Huberto, so you're eating, you're spending 15, 20 minutes here by yourself, and you have no idea how the food tastes. It's like, oh my God. Yeah. So again, mindful eating is not about measuring things like you say that, it's how, Karina, I wish we can have much more time. So, and also time outside. So we can
Mindfulness is the key. Mindfulness is very
kind of
important.
spreading these type of things where mindful eating is not about mesh. It's about whatever you're testing. It could be a chocolate. It could be steak. Whatever it is, just being mindful. Same as breathing. Same as having a drink. That's another thing that he told me. Are you drinking tea? How does it taste? I said, I have.
Even, I do a lot of retreats, many. I do silent retreat.
Okay.
It's like Vipassana. So you're not talking, you don't use your phone, you watch your thoughts, you eat only, like it's detoxing your body and mind. But sometimes I do very extreme retreats, reboot, like 2 days. It's like dark, silent retreat.
Nice.
So yeah, I did it for a very, very complicated client. I helped him a lot. So dark retreat is when you eat in complete silence and when it's dark. So you consume food and then, you know, I started doing this because I went 12 years ago. I went to Kopan monastery to do Vipassana.
Okay.
So we prayed and it's total silence and my life has completely changed. I started thinking for purpose. I not just speaking for purpose when I came back from retreat to London. I started thinking for purpose. Like
Mhm.
it's like complete mindfulness and awareness, and it's a very beautiful thing to be in this state. So we should be as much mindful as we can
Yes. Yes, I agree.
about what we consume. Even it's not only about the food, it's about what we eat, what we drink, who you talk to, how your day looks like.
Yes. Yeah, kind of with a purpose. And what
Yes, living with purpose. We're living with gratitude and purpose.
yes. Karina, we don't have much time, but I want to ask you if somebody wants to get in contact with you, what would be the best way to reach you?
Oh, I'm really very active on my Instagram page.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And it's an amazing, beautiful Instagram.
Thank you. So many people, they're addicted to my Instagram. Like it's like you're watching movie. Thank you, but I try to bring as much value as I can and to share a lot of good things and knowledge. And I try to be very useful and helpful.
Can
I
can you
love
let
it.
can you let the listeners know what
Yes,
is
sure.
Instagram?
Karina with K Safarova coaching.
Perfect, perfect. So
Yeah,
we can
it's very easy to find me, and I'm very active. I always reply by myself. I try not to miss any message from my followers.
that's
I
great.
do a lot of gifts. Yesterday, like I gave my books to one lady. She cannot afford my coaching, but I like making difference, and I try to help people as much as I can.
Of course, that again, that's part of the purpose and feeling great. Karina, thank you very much for joining us. I'm sure that you're gonna be soon. There's so many other topics that we can talk.
That's
And let's see each other again, so that way we can
Yes,
continue this.
I'm always here. Yes,
Okay. Have a wonderful
just some.
afternoon, and people, thank you very much for listening. We are creating superhumans, and talk to you later.
Yes, yes, we are already. We're superhumans. Thank you.